What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I am here live to review last night's edition of Raw. The July 13th, 2020 edition of Monday Night Raw that took place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. It's like a broken record with these reviews. I feel like I'm doing nothing but saying the same exact damn thing all the time. This week's episode of Raw, it was one of those episodes that it was what it was. Nothing really happened. It was a go-home show to Extreme Rules. There's a pay-per-view on Sunday. Extreme Rules over produced Rules, maybe? Because it's probably all Vince McMahon's ideas going way. I don't know. Past couple weeks, Raw's had some stuff on that show that interested me. But the past 2 weeks, it feels like, okay, it's the same crap and it's just starting to drain out. Starting out to really not care even more. So I really don't care for wrestling right now, to be honest. I haven't really been enjoying it much lately. Not getting many views on my match cards, which I was hoping, of course, would be a booster, but that ain't happening. And then, yeah, here I am. I can still continue to watch these shows week in and week out and not have much to say, unfortunately. Yes, Tyler, I wish Triple H would take over. And it's one of those things at this point, not going to believe it until I see it. So let's talk about Raw. This go-home edition for Extreme Rules 2020. We opened up with the MVP Lounge as MVP introduces his guest, probably the nicest guy he knows, Dolph Ziggler, who tells MVP he loves what he's done with the U.S. title, and when he wins the WWE title, he's going to do something similar. They run down Drew McIntyre and focus on his lack of gratitude, as they claim. Out comes Drew, apologizes for interrupting their ass-kissing session. He's not going to tear the setup or claim more MVP, which he does every time. Because tonight's about Ziggler. Last week, Ziggler made it personal, bringing Heath Slater. And that led to Drew to do a lot of soul-searching. And he came to the conclusion that Dolph uses people. Look at people he's used. He's used Mandy Rose. He used Big E. And he's used Drew McIntyre himself. Drew says on Sunday, he's going to basically say, he's going to Claymore his head off. Dolph interrupts, like, yeah, I know, you're going to take me to Claymore country. But then McIntyre cuts him back and says, no, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to torture you and make you regret playing a part in bringing him to Raw. So he doesn't think he can wait till Sunday. He wants a little bit of action right now. And then he lays out Dolph. McIntyre fakes a headbutt MVP, then he leaves. Once again, we're still not going to know the stipulation until Sunday, so we're not going to find out what the heck Dolph's stipulation is. So quite frankly, again, I don't care. I really don't care about this WWE title match. Again, this is a match that can take place on Raw. It does need to take place on pay-per-view. Because, again, it's the same thing all the time. Who knows? Oh boy, and then backstage, we've got Zelina Vega questioning the false narrative that her clients can't stay on the same page. We'll point out that they've already beaten the Viking Raiders. They've defeated Big Show. No. They didn't take part in defeating Big Show. They got squashed by Big Show in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And last week in that 6-man tag match, Randy Orton did the bidding of and Randy Orton, the Big Show, he pinned one of the Viking Raiders. So all of a sudden, 2 wins, 2 whoppity wins. We're supposed to take these guys seriously as they're being on the same page. When it's been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and lost and lost and lost, win, lost, win. That's all it has been for this group for Zelina Vega's, stable, whoever she has in it. I'm sorry. I don't care. Everyone's been losing in that stable for months. And they expect one win over the Viking Raiders, then to just immediately get squashed by the Big Show is going to make me think that they're serious contenders for the Raw tag titles. How about this? They're only considering contenders right now for the Raw tag titles because nobody else is. There's no division. I mean, SmackDown, yes, it's not too interesting either, but at least there's some actual tag teams on SmackDown. On Raw, there is zero. So, yeah, so she's raving about how they're on the same page, blah, 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 all that jazz. Viking Raiders roll up and say that they've been the most dominant team on Raw for over a year. Ha! And they have this honored the division. They're going to run through them tonight, and Ivar takes the rose and hands it to Charlie, leading Almas to give Garza the old "take care of your business" shoulder slap. We have a match between them, and it was an elimination match. Why? I don't get why. Eventually leads to Andrade eliminating Eric, then Ivar eliminating Andrade, and then they win with an assist from Almas outside for Garza to pick up the winning pin on Ivar. Afterwards, they fist bump. So now, oh look, they're on the same page. But in my next week, they'll be fighting again. Does anybody care? Like, once again, if they were winning a lot, I'd probably care more. Because I do like both these guys. I like both Almas, and I like Garza. But once again, they've been doing nothing but losing for months. So why am I taking this seriously? At this point, I'm like, just get it over with. Just split them up. I don't. Drives me nuts. And again, I do not care. Oh, and then we have Ruby Riott with 2 T's interview backstage before the Iconics roll up and mock Ruby for being alone. And their match is going to be a handicap match because Ruby doesn't have any friends. But Ruby says that's your cue, and holy smokes, look who's actually appearing on Raw after she was called up. Only been appearing like twice since she was called up, and that's Bianca Belair. I don't like Billy, I don't like Peyton, and she's got time to help her pal Ruby Riott out today. So all of a sudden, Bianca Belair has time to help out. They win a tag match next, which Bianca gets to win with the KOD. About time Bianca Belair returns. Then we have a segment backstage with R-Truth running into Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. And then he congratulates Ricochet on winning MVP of Raw. Ricochet corrects him and says he's going to be wrestling Bobby Lashley, and Cedric asks Truth that he should be more worried about his match with Randy Orton. But then Truth saying, no, I have a match with Ric Flair, not Randy Orton. But they're like, no, you're with Orton. You're going to be competing against the Viper. And then all of a sudden R-Truth is like, uh-oh. And he tries to walk away until he runs into Akira Tozawa and his Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go Ninja. Yeah, his stupid ninjas. And he never thought he'd say this, but he needs to be taught how to be a black belt in the next 10 minutes. Tozawa's like, nah. He goes to pin him, but Truth kicks out at 2. And then basically he's like, that's it. Get to the ring. We're going to have a title match right now. So a title match for a 24/7 championship between Truth and Akira Tozawa. Again, why are these ninjas still a freaking thing? Seriously, they don't even have names. They're just no-name jobbers that are staying in as ninjas. And what happened to the big tall one? But I don't care. You wanna know why? It's stupid! And I don't care. So, R-Truth and Akira Tozawa and his ninjas make their way out. Until out comes Shayna Baszler. Another return in the women's division. So, Tozawa hides behind his ninjas, and then Shayna basically takes out all 3 of the ninjas. Tozawa gets out, and Truth is still in the ring, and I thought for a split second they were going to have Shayna Baszler take out R-Truth and win the 24/7 title. Instead, Truth just says, I'm going to show my way out, and he gets out of there. So Shayna gets on the microphone and says she's been so patient, letting everyone here have their fun. Which is weird because, once again, the last time I saw her, she was trying to destroy people. But she's done. After these weak-minded women's champions are running around fooling themselves under the delusion that they're under control, that the limbs and terror left in her wake are a distant memory. The Queen of Spades, though, is here to shatter that delusion by hitting you with a hard dose of reality. And that reality is her. Hoping that's actually going to be legitimate, because apparently, again, Vince is soured on Shayna Baszler. So, one of those promos where it's like, I liked it, but I'm just like, gotta see some results. Will Shayna Baszler, kind of get, the run she was supposed to get when she feuded with Becky Lynch? We'll see. Maybe we're going to do Asuka and Shayna Baszler at SummerSlam, or Asuka and Kairi Sane, maybe. I heard they apparently teased something on Raw Talk, but who knows? But hopefully, Shayna Baszler gets back on track. Because, again, I don't have a good feeling after hearing that, Vince apparently soured on her. We get a recap also what's going on with Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio, getting ready for an eye for an eye. Oh boy. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy chat about the eye for an eye, but then Rollins says, "Get ready for your match." I gotta say a few things. Seth Rollins comes out. He's kept saying an eye for an eye over and over and over and over again. He's asking, what does it mean? He knows what it means. He's just trying to lead Raw to a brighter future. But Rey Mysterio has been in his way every step of the way. He muses about how you should sanction a match with a stipulation that barbaric before saying he never meant to hurt Rey Mysterio. He puts it in on WWE Universe for asking him to shepherd them before saying the Extreme Rules will be the end of Rey Mysterio. Basically, once again, saying, we did this and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Out comes Kevin Owens, who said he didn't expect Rey to pick eye for an eye. He says that scumbag like Seth Rollins deserves it. And Rey Mysterio is known to be a very nice guy. But it comes to the point where, you push him over the line, he wants to gouge your eyes out. But he knows where Rey's coming from. When Owens was willing to end his own career at Mania if it meant shutting up Rollins, it just so happens that he's friends with a certain pirate named Jean-Pierre Lafitte and gave him an eye patch, which I'm sure Vince got a good laugh at. And then Rollins calls Buddy Murphy down for a 2-on-1, but Aleister Black comes out and makes a save. Aleister Black and Murphy have a match, and of course it ends in disqualification because Seth Rollins interfered and hit a curb stop after Black hit a Black Mass without the words Ray and Dominic came down to make the save. And then I don't know what happened to Buddy Murphy, but basically ended up being Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins with Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Aleister Black at ringside. Match was what it was. Nowhere close to being as good as the WrestleMania match, but Kevin Owens wins with a stunner, even though that Rollins had gouged his eye out at one point. Just a preview, eye for an eye on Sunday. We'll talk about that match more when I get to my preview and predictions later this week for Extreme Rules, the horror show. So we have that. I'll explain more about my rant on that match, because I was actually excited for the match, and that stipulation really wore me out. And Rey Mysterio says he's going to pull one of Rollins' eyes out, Extreme Rules, blah, blah, blah. And then we have Ric Flair backstage talking with the Big Show. Again, Ric Flair is still in that very dangerous environment. Talk about their history. How he's the most athletic and skilled big man he's shared a ring with. But you can't just do Hollywood then come back. Maybe you should stick to Netflix. Go into the Hall of Fame healthy instead of getting hurt by Randy Orton. Show says he knows what Rick is trying to do, and he's a master of what he does. But he wants him to know what he's done to Randy Orton made him more vicious than ever before. And the question to Rick is he willing to sacrifice his friendship so Orton can be the legend killer? Oh boy. And then Randy Orton cuts a backstage promo about Edge, Christian, and Big Show all used to be his friends, and then Ric Flair says you better you might dump him like like a box of rocks, and he's gonna beat R-Truth tonight. Well, that's what he says. Orton says it. Ric Flair rolls up, says it's time. So R-Truth comes out. Ric Flair has a problem that he loves R-Truth, and so does Orton, and that's why he's just gonna RKO him and not pun him. Orton RKO's Truth basically in 2 seconds to win the match. Afterwards, it looks like Orton's about to set up for the punt until the Big Show comes out. And Orton says he was never going to take Truth's head off. He wanted to take off shows. But next Monday, he's going to challenge Big Show to an unsanctioned match. And backstage, basically, with a very awkward look on his face, Big Show's like, yeah, I accept, pretty much. So we're not getting a match at Extreme Rules, but we're getting it on next Monday. Okay, whatever. Unsanctioned, Big Show, Randy Orton. We did see Ricochet and Cedric Alexander talking with the MVP. They're talking when MVP and Lashley roll up. MVP just wants to know if they got his message, and Cedric says, not interested. MVP then was interviewed and said on Sunday is a foregone conclusion, and after the match, they're going to celebrate VIP style at an undisclosed location. Lashley says he's guaranteed that after he's done with Ricochet, he'll be in the trainer's room courtesy of the Hurt Business. Drew McIntyre interviewed, talked about Dolph Ziggler, then he gets attacked by Dolph, they brawl, and they get pulled apart. Bobby Lashley defeats Ricochet in a match that was decent, not as good as the last match I thought was really good, but he wins. Afterwards, they take out Cedric Alexander himself. But of course, same thing as last week, pretty much recycled, and no Apollo Crews. Why was Apollo Crews there? He has a match with MVP this Sunday. No big hurrah before, he has the match on Sunday? Okay, guess not. I understand what it means now. And then we have the main event. After Sasha and Bayley just have a video tributing to them, they took on the Kabuki Warriors. And not a bad match. A little long. Kairi Sane, I thought, had a lot of good moments towards the end of the match. She definitely, I thought, one of her better main roster performances so far, I would say. She did hit an insane elbow drop on Sasha Banks before Bayley got involved and pulled her off. The match, though, ended whenever she went for another, elbow, and Sasha countered it into the Boston Hug connection. Sasha Banks taps Kairi out for the victory, and the Boston Hug connection retain. That's basically that. So, don't know who's going to take the women's tag titles off of Bayley and Sasha Banks soon. Who knows? That was Raw. A lot of the same stuff we've been getting. Was what it was, but nothing new, and again, just repetition. I gave it a C-. Let's check the live chat before we go off the air and see what Tyler has to say. She was going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year. Who knows? It's going to be a DQ win for Dolph. Who the heck knows? They're giving the Extreme Rules match for Bayley and Cross. What? Why would they do that? Why Bayley and Nikki Cross? That makes no sense. Yep, there's 0 teams for the Raw Tag Team division. Those that make sense for a team to win the tag team, but job to Big Show. Exactly. That's what I said. Makes no sense. And you watch. They're gonna give the no-named ninjas the Raw Tag titles. I'll bet you any money is gonna happen. It is gonna happen. Yeah, no name ninjas. What happened to the real Extreme Rules match, like Last Man Standing? Yeah, none of them are there. They have to, overproduce to make a big fuss about it. AJ Styles and Sheamus wouldn't be a bad match, for sure. What's up, Lauren? Raw was trash, and she doesn't understand why Show and Orton couldn't be added this Sunday. I don't care about the match anyways, to be honest. But that's going to do it for Raw, guys. Okay, I gave it a C-. What are your thoughts on Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirline3. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, everybody.